Fuck! Fuck! Fuck!
Oh, you stupid motherfucker!
You're gonna find me dead! I'm gonna kill myself!
Hit the fucking guy! What the fuck is he doing?
I'm gonna be hanging from the bathroom!
They got the
Don't ask me to do nothing!
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Steel Here podcast, where I'm your host, Kevin Adams, alongside my partner in crime, Jerry the Kid, and our goal is forever to bring you nothing but the best, all things Pittsburgh Steelers football. What's going on, Jerry? How you feeling today?
I'm all right. I know you saw last night we were watching the game. I know we were texting back and forth. You know, just tough having $1,000 six-legger. Come down to the Broncos money line against Seattle, and you say to yourself, why would I ever cash out? Denver should beat this team easily. Russell Wilson, revenge game. It was the opposite. It was a Seahawks revenge game. That's what it was. But you know what? It sucks for sure. I lost out on 14 grand. But at the end of the day, you know, I risked $1,000 and I lost. And that's just what happens. That's why, I'm a gambler. I'm not a fucking gardener. The smart thing to do was probably cash out and take the money and run. But fuck it. You know what? You live once. Money comes, money goes. Just the way it is in life. I'm excited. I got more bets ahead of me. So I'm good to go on that end. I'll be back next week, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, it sucked. That hurt. I'm texting Jerry. So yesterday is Monday, so I'm texting him early, and I'm like, "Are you gonna hedge that?" And he's like, "No, I don't hedge. And I'm not the hedging type either when I bet it. And of all those bets that you made, that the Broncos beating the Seahawks to me felt like a fucking home run. I'm like, that's a great. They're gonna drub them so much so that when the game started, Seahawks come down, they score on the opening drive. I put $400 on the Broncos to cover 2.5 at that point.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a layup. No, we both ate shit. I wanted to ride with Jerry Don, and I went down on his sinking ship with him. That's how it goes sometimes.
You know what's crazy, dude? It's like this is how the fuck casinos are built. Like you said last night on the phone, it's so true. Like when 80-something% of the public is on one side and you got fucking less than 20% on the other side, it's like sometimes you just got to go the other way and fade the public.
Yeah. That's normally what I like to do is fade it, is because, I was telling Jerry, they build those casinos because of that reason, because everyone says, oh, it's a home run, and then those are the ones they kill us on. So, normally that's when you'd fade it, but yeah, what can you do? It's $1,000. There's going to be many other bets this season we're going to get, Jerry. That's just one under the belt.
For sure.
But the good news in Steelers football, there is a lot of good news. So it's around 3 o'clock on Tuesday. We have some good news, baby. TJ is going to be back this season, and we're 1-0, Jerry Don.
Yes. Yeah, it's a good feeling, man. It really is. Listen, the whole game I was pumped up, the whole game. And then when TJ went down and you seen him mumble on the sideline, I tore my pec. I said to myself, listen, I know Tomlin next man up mentality. There's you don't replace that. No. That's just somebody in the league that you just can't replace. It doesn't matter. So it was tough to see him go down. You know what I mean? And the win, great. It didn't feel like a win at the time.
No, it did not.
It felt like – I think that was one of the only times, I would say, honestly, one of the only times I said to myself, the season's over week 1.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it was crushing. Yep. And, I believed it. I seriously believed, just TJ saying that. And like I told you, Kev, when TJ said, I tore my pec, I said to myself, his brother JJ had the same injury. I'm sure they shared conversations. I'm sure JJ told TJ what it feels like and whatnot. And I said to myself, he tore his pec. It's over. And then, we got the reports back late last night. Today, was it the muscle? Something with the muscle, the pec muscle?
Yeah, so he didn't tear the tendon is what they said. Yes, so the fact that he didn't tear the tendon means it's really just a recovery type of thing, muscle tear. He can rehab the shit out of it. And obviously TJ is a workout warrior, so he's going to be the type of guy that relentlessly attacks his rehab. So I would say we'll get them by the bye at the latest, I would assume,
Yeah.
that's fucking massive. Like you, I was at the game, so we're leaving. I'm with our producer Nick, and we're driving back, and it just felt like a loss. As weird as that is, you get a
Yeah.
big
It
win, and,
did.
and fucking I was ecstatic because the people of Cincinnati are miserable souls. I
Fuck
mean, they're
those
not nice
motherfuckers.
fans. They're
Fuck.
miserable, Jerry. I mean,
I
I've
never
got
been to
hammered
Cincinnati,
with
but
beers. Yeah, terrible. That's the second time, and I've always said I'll never go back unless it's a big game. I went in the perfect game whenever we won in the playoffs, and I think it was 2015 or 16. I
yeah.
said I'm never fucking going back. They're miserable souls. And of course, it's week one. I have to make the trek out. It felt great to leave there with a win, but it
Yeah.
felt like the game we lost Ben a few years ago. You're just leaving, and you're like, fuck, it's over. It's that you
Yeah.
can't. That's one guy. You can't lose him. You cannot
Yeah.
fucking lose the defensive player
Yeah.
of the year.
No.
But hey, there's no point in dwelling on it now, man. That
No.
makes that win that much bigger. It makes
For
that win
sure.
that much bigger that we got the
Massive.
W and he's coming back.
And our schedule is a little bit weak. Coming
Yep,
up to
early.
week 4, so we
Yep.
have we'll get into it later, but we got the Broncos Thursday night, we got the Patriots this week, and then we got the Jets at home. So I say to myself, if this team can go 4-0 to start the season with TJ Watt
Yep.
on getting his rest and whatnot and rehabbing, I don't mind dropping the next 2 out of 3. I don't.
No, right.
You know?
And that's what it looks like. So we have a banged up Patriots team coming to town. Mac
Yeah.
Jones, who knows what that's going to end up looking like. And then we have Thursday night football. You said Denver. You meant Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Thursday
Sorry,
night.
Cleveland. Yeah, Browns.
No,
I didn't say
yeah,
Browns. I said Denver.
Yeah, you said Broncos.
That's my brain. I'm all fried up from the parlay.
Hey, you lose 14 G's, man. I get it. It's seared into your mind right now.
Yeah, we're away for that game though, right?
Yeah, that's next
Okay,
Thursday. So
gotcha.
so we're gonna play Sunday and then bounce back immediately and play Thursday in Cleveland, and then we have the 10 days off, and we get and then we're coming back home for the Jets. So realistically, if we can get through this game, division games against the Browns, that's always going to be tough. But you're gonna get a weak Jets team with Joe Flacco, who's about 40 fucking years old these days and can't move. So
Now,
4-0
Kevin,
would be huge.
I think maybe Zach Wilson might be back for our game. Maybe
Oh, it might be his first game back then.
it might be his first game back, which I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
But I'm just
it's
saying.
not gonna make or break. Here's the thing, though: we go there and we lose. Like, we don't play the Jets well for whatever reason. They can be fucking terrible. We just don't play.
I
them well.
know, I know, it's miserable. I know.
But if we can get to 4-0, then it gets a little challenge. Then you have Buffalo in
Of
Buffalo.
course.
Then you have Tampa coming to town, and they looked very fucking good.
Miami,
So,
right? We got Miami too.
Yep. Off
So
the
what game do you
23rd.
think TJ Watt would come back if he was to come back end of October? Do we have the is it Philly on that schedule?
Yeah, it's the Eagles. It'd be week 8. It would look like week 8, and at that point in my mind, I'm thinking we would be somewhere around 4-3. If we can squeak out one of the games that maybe we shouldn't squeak out, we'll be competitive. And look, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves on this, because what did we say at the beginning of the season? If we can get to the bye week around 500, I'm good with it. That's as good as we could have asked for. So that's why that win yesterday comes back to what we said last week. That is a huge win, because you want to split with those teams.
Yes.
You want to split with your division teams. So to get them in their house, all the hype, all the momentum, and we went in and we followed the same blueprint that we followed last season in Buffalo.
Yeah. What won that game
defense,
was relentless defense, pressure to the quarterback. Like I said, you got to get to him. You got to fluster him, and that's just what they did, dude. Fucking 4 picks. Holy shit.
Yeah.
It should be 5, because they ruled that one a fumble, didn't
the
they?
Hayward. Yeah.
That should have been a pick.
In my opinion, I thought it was a pick too, because his arm came forward, ball comes out. But
Yeah.
either way, we got the fucking ball. 7 sacks, man.
Yes.
Tip the hat to Highsmith. Tip the hat to Highsmith, because that if Alex Highsmith can be on the other side of TJ Watt doing things that we saw Bud Dupree doing a couple years ago, that defense is fucking nasty then. That
Yes, I
defense, and
know.
it comes back to what we said. The secondary is going to get some looks at balls. You know why? Quarterback's off the mark a little bit because his feet are dancing so much out there.
Yeah,
And you saw Cam Sutton capitalize, Akella Witherspoon capitalize.
yeah,
TJ's obviously a freak. He makes that pick. But, if we don't miss a beat with the Reed kid coming in, the kid we traded for out of Denver,
yeah.
if
Malik Reed. Yeah,
obviously he'll never be TJ Watt, but we get pressure. We get pressure. And that is going to be the calling card of the Steelers wins this season. And that game came back to everything we said. It was ugly. It was ugly football.
yeah,
We're going to have to gut them out. It's going to come down to special teams, and hopefully the defense helps us out. And all of those things fell our way. Now, the offense sucked.
yes,
The offense sucked.
it did. Can't run the ball.
No. Trubisky, I mean, he looked hesitant.
Yeah,
Let me preface it with all of this. I'm going to say some things that are very negative about Trubisky right now, but we got the win, and we have not beat the Bengals in the last 3 attempts at it. So to get that win, regardless of how bad we looked and this, that, and the other thing, at the end of the day, you want to get the fucking W, and we got it. Having said that, Mitch could have been better. Mitch could have been better in many areas. I thought he was hesitant in the pocket. He looked a little scared. Now, he danced and he got out of the pocket and he extended plays, especially late. He did some very nice things. He hit Freiermuth. But there were points where he missed wide open wide receivers. He missed Pickens several times. He just didn't even see him. Now, that could be because, he didn't have a ton of time. The line was not that great, as we assumed it wouldn't be. But I mean, as far as Mitch is concerned, he did a lot of great things. He did some bad things, and I feel like we're starting to see.
What I'll say about Mitch is this, Kev. So Mitch doesn't have to be great. He has to be good, and he can't turn the ball over.
Yep.
He didn't turn the ball over.
Right.
So I give Mitch credit. I do. He did miss some stuff. He was hesitant. I'll give you that. When we needed to make a play late, he scrambled, he ran, he hit, he hit a couple receivers for some big plays that we needed, some big first downs. That one throw was crazy. I thought I was going to get picked. When he threw in overtime.
The Freiermuth. Freiermuth.
When it came out of his hands, I was like, "Oh no, that's a pick."
We're fucked. Same thing. I said to Nick, I'm like, we're fucked. And then Freiermuth comes down with the ball. I mean, he did do some special things. He got out of the pocket, and I think that was the thing that we had been missing the last few years against these teams in crunch time. Benny just couldn't fucking move. So when you see Mitch get out and do it, it was huge for us. I mean,
it felt good.
The receivers played great. I mean, everybody saw the Deontay catch.
Oh, dude, that might be catch of the year, bro. Well, we might have 2 catch of the years in a game because of Claypool's the one with the left hand.
falling backwards and snags it right at the goal line. The receiver play was special in my opinion, and Claypool did some other things that was very nice. I mean, he ran the ball well. They're starting to you're using him more in a role like Deebo Samuel gets used for the Niners. And you're getting him out. You're getting him out in the flat, and he's getting to the edge. Claypool has wheels. Like, he's a pretty fast wide receiver. And he's a big boy. Yeah. So if it's
I like him in the slot too, bro. Him in the slot is a mismatch, man.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that Mitch will find more rhythm, and they'll be able to find those mismatches a little bit better. The line. God damn, I hope the line improves because Najee didn't look good.
Listen, this year, you've seen the recipe to win games week 1. I feel like it's going to be that for the whole year. We're not going to be able to run the ball. I feel like, I don't know how, the Najee thing, they say it's not serious. He's been hurt in camp. He's hurt week 1. They say it's not serious. He's going to play. If it was up to me, I seen enough out of Warren. Najee, get another week under your belt. Get another week's rest under your belt. You come back for the Browns game. Warren is fine in my book.
He's a dog. I love that guy.
He's putting linebackers on their back, bro.
Yep. I love what we saw out of Jaylen Warren. I think he looked good. But again, the line, they did some things. So I watched the All 22 yesterday. They opened holes up. I mean, they opened up holes. The running backs just didn't see them. They didn't get to them in time. I mean, and a lot of that is just practice. That's just going to be, the more you do it, the more comfortable you get. You know what's open. You know what isn't open. So that's stuff that takes a little bit of time to develop. If Najee is going to have to be hobbling, because here's the thing: before he got hurt and came out of the game, he still looked slow. He looked like he couldn't cut. He just didn't look like Najee Harris of what we saw last year, and that's concerning. So if you have to sit him a few games, then sit him down. It's so early in the year. Sit him down while the schedule is soft, so that we have the bowl back whenever we need him.
Exactly.
I really hope the Liz Frank is one of those injuries that can dwell for a long time.
Yes.
They linger and they linger. Some end guys' careers because they just can't fucking get their foot back.
Yep.
So I really don't want to see that happen. God, please, I really don't want to see that happen. But overall, hard to be mad, Jerry. The defense was special. We won the game. We got out of there. Boswell redeemed himself. He makes the long kick to send them home. And the Steelers start 1-0, and that's all we can ask for. It's a great day, and it's a better day now that TJ is back. So
for sure.
So let's at least build on the positives. I don't want to dwell too much on the negative. We got to win. It's week 1. Nobody's polished. Nobody is polished week 1. Well, what did you think about Matt Canada?
I think it was a disaster. I think so what I'll say this is what I appreciated was early in the game, he brought out some trick plays, something different. We haven't seen that in a long time. That was awesome. That was really, really, really great to see. When the game got late, it felt like I already knew what was coming. There were some times where like the play calling was just like, why the hell would you throw it there? Why not run the ball? Just some stupid stuff. But what I will say is this, that it is maybe, he doesn't show everything week 1. Nobody expects him to show everything week 1. There was a little hint of like, okay, maybe this can be a little different from the last few years. But there's some stuff that I seen that I said to myself, this is it all over again. Here we go again. The predictable Steelers, predictable play calling, predictable pass when you're supposed to run, predictable run when you're supposed to pass. So that just frustrates me.
No, it was what you're referencing. Early on, we ran a little reverse. They ran a reverse. I want to say a reverse flea flicker, which I've never seen us anything like that. I've never seen us fucking run that. So that was really nice to see them reach into the bag. And that was at a point in the game whenever the Steelers had a chance to really jump out. You have the Minkah pick 6. The place goes silent. I mean, they sat the fuck down, and I let them hear it. Hear it. So they sit down, and then the next drive, we end up stopping their drive. We sack the shit out of Burrow, and then we come back. We run that little reverse flea flicker, and we're rolling, and we couldn't punch it in. We had to settle for 3, and that has been the Steelers' kryptonite is having to settle for 3 whenever you're inside the 10-yard line. Punch the fucking ball in the end zone, and we still cannot seem to figure that out. Whatever, we overcome it. We're in the game late in the 4th. What does he do? They have 2 timeouts. The Bengals have 2 timeouts. Steelers are up. All we have to do is burn clock off, and he throws the ball, and it's incomplete. And he threw it again, and it was fucking incomplete. Instead of just letting them hand it off. Who gives a shit? At that point, you're just burning their timeouts. You're just burning their timeouts. And if you're going to throw the ball, you have to tell Mitch, look, we're going to throw this football. If there is nothing there, if you're not positive that it's getting caught, drop to your knees and take the sack. Keep the clock running, make them eat the timeout, because then what happened?
We're not in field goal range anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Nope. It's irrelevant. We didn't need to score. All we need to do is burn clock. So what happens the last 10 seconds of the game, the Bengals have all those extra plays. They score on the very last play of the game, ultimately to send it to overtime because Minkah blocked the extra point. But that's the type of shit that costs you. The Steelers' margin for error, like we said, is going to be tiny. So if you have to burn clock, you have to burn clock. There's no other way around it. The Bengals used every second that they had, and they needed every second. So for Matt Canada, it's a B- because we got the win. It's a C+. Maybe he did some stupid shit that is unexcusable, but he did some nice things and some things that we haven't seen because we haven't really had a mobile quarterback. So again, week 1 for him too. I'm not gonna eat him up because it's week 1.
Yeah.
There's not really much to
The
be
thing
angry
that you
about
brought
on that.
up the other day though was, and I agree with it. If Tomlin is hearing these plays, which he should be in his headset,
Yep.
why not say no, but we got to burn these fucking guys' timeouts. We can't afford incompletions. Run the ball. I don't know.
Right.
We'll
That's
see
the
though.
only thing I've never understood for years is like, yeah, Tomlin does get a pass because his coordinator, maybe his coordinators suck, whatever it is, and we win. And I'm not, God, this is not at all a slight to Mike Tomlin, so please don't take it that way. But in that moment, he had to hear that call come through his headset and be like, why the fuck don't we just run the ball? Like, there's
Yeah.
no, what are we gaining passing it right here? If we get a first down, they're still calling a timeout anyway. We're not winning the game with a first down right here, so let's just eat the timeouts. But yeah, it was what it was. It was exciting as hell to see Tomlin celebrate after the game, though.
Yeah.
Did you see some of the celebrating?
Yeah. I'll
It
tell you
was
what, the players love that guy, bro. They love him.
right. Yep.
They love him.
Yeah, I think it was special because it was like last year when we clinched, and you have Marcus Allen and he's in there dancing on the phone and they're doing all that shit. And when Tomlin comes in and does it, you have to realize the message that it sends to 31 other players in the NFL, 31 other teams players, that like our coach is he's a G. I mean, it started at the beginning of the week. So this takes me to my tweet of the week. It was the video of Tomlin dancing. And it's not just because Tomlin is dancing, and I'll show it. It was posted by Z Flash NFL. So Zach Sheladonia, he's one of my favorite Steelers fans follows. He's a pretty funny dude on there. And it's just the video of them dancing. And I love it for so many reasons. Tomlin sets the tone early in the week by getting the boys black Air Forces. And for people that don't know, black Air Forces are associated with just dogs that are wired differently. You don't fuck with guys that wear all black Air Forces because they're probably nuts. Like they're just mentally different. And Tomlin wanted to send that message, and it was received. And they came out, and we played like dogs. After the game, we win the game. Nobody's boo-hooing because we don't have TJ. They were all still. You can't. It's week one of a 17-week season. Yep, and I love that. That's Tomlin. That's the culture that Mike Tomlin has built in that locker room. Is that it is next man up. Absolutely, you lose the defensive player of the year, but he wasn't going to dwell on that. Celebrate the big fucking win because it was a big win. And that's Mike Tomlin. That's Mike Tomlin in a nutshell of why so many people love him, is because he is so relatable as a player's coach, and the players fucking adore the guy for that type of reason. You work your ass off all week. Everybody doubts us. We go into a hostile environment and we fucking shove it up their ass. And that's huge. That is real big. What do you got for your tweet of the week?
My tweet of the week was today, actually. Was TJ Watt. I'll be back. I mean, that's just, dude, you can just like I'm like saying to myself, wow, what, like that is the perfect tweet. You know what I mean? Fucking Terminator, I'll be back, just electric. So that was mine. I know it's like basic, but dude, I'm just excited that he's going to be back this year. If he was down for the year, it would be a very, very long season.
Yeah, agreed. That's not even a basic tweet. That's a huge tweet. That tweet is massive because of what it signifies. It signifies that there's hope yet in the season. And as a sports fan, especially in football, where the season is every single game matters for the most part. The season is so short from that standpoint that when you lose a guy like that, it just hurts. Like you have to be honest with yourself and say that if you lose a TJ Watt, if you did have a Super Bowl chance, say it was 10%, in my opinion, it goes down to like 5% or less. You can't lose one of arguably your best players. So I think, it's a basic tweet, but it's a fucking electric tweet, and it's electric because it means that the hope is all you can hold on to as a sports fan, and the hope remains. We still have a chance at this thing because he's going to be back. And Jerry, when he comes back, that might be a game you're going to have to come in for.
For sure.
Back, if his first game is at Acrisure, you're going to have to come back for it because the barn is going to erupt.
Oh, dude, his first game back, I can 95% I'll be there, 100%, almost 100%.
Yeah, and maybe that's the night that the dinner comes through.
Yeah, the night before.
Yeah, little bit of dinner invite.
He even sent me a DM on Twitter today. It was always the comeback.
It was always the comeback.
So I'm ready for
I
him to
love that
rock.
he's in good spirits, man. I love that
Yeah,
he's in good spirits. Everybody in that locker room, and what's that going to do for the locker room? I'm sure guys won't say it, and most of them will never admit, the value that it has. But to know that, look, boys, all we have to do is fucking dig our heels in because there's a very good chance the bad boy comes back and we're still in contention of this thing. So we just have to steady the ship until he returns.
yeah,
And now everyone knows. There's no more doubting. He's gonna be back. Let's just weather the storm. And
exactly.
that's such a huge bullet to dodge.
For
Uh,
sure.
you mentioned something earlier, Jaylen Warren. So this comes into my all heart player of the week. Jaylen Warren. So for this segment, for the people that are first time listening, it's going to be a guy who gave maximum effort. Might not be a superstar, but he's going to give maximum effort, and you need it if you want to win. And what Jaylen Warren did on Sunday with just 23 snaps, it's not like he didn't play a shitload. Even when Najee went out, the Steelers were doing a lot of passing even at that point. But what he did in his limited snaps was exactly what you need out of somebody that's going to be that type of player. He
Yeah,
came in. His lead blocking was fucking insane. He looked like a fullback. He looked like a
yeah,
bad boy fullback
yeah,
on that one pitch out to Claypool on the right side. He's lead blocker in front of Claypool, and he blows the cornerback. He lifted him up out of off his
yeah,
cleats. He's in the air. He bullies him. How many of those plays did we see where he picked up blitzers coming right up the middle to buy Mitch just enough time to
yeah,
roll out to then find Fryermuth in the middle of the field and extend drives? That is what you're gonna need out of somebody that we crown in that all heart player of the week position,
for
is that
sure.
you have to make the most out of the limited snaps that you're gonna get, and you have to seize the moment. And what Jaylen Warren did on Sunday is it takes an army to win a football game in the NFL, and every man needs to do his job. And what Jaylen Warren did was his job, and it was beautiful to see. And that is my all heart player of the week. What do you
Yeah.
got on the all heart on your end?
I'm gonna go Minka. I'm gonna go
Oh yeah,
Minka. The pick six
yeah.
was huge. He made a bunch of tackles, and also I think he had double digit tackles. I think,
I think he had
and
10.
yeah, I think he had. Well, I think he might have had over 10, honestly. But he had double digit tackles. He had the pick six, and then he was pretty much one of the biggest reasons the Steelers won that game with that blocked field extra point.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
just huge, man. Just huge. Showed up big time. There's a lot of doubters out there about Minka, but I'll tell you what, man. He is a ball hawk, man.
He's a monster.
Yeah, dude. It's like I was
14,
watching a big.
14 tackles.
Yeah, he had double. Yeah, I knew it was pretty high.
14.
Yeah, like I was watching a clip on Ben talking about Palomalu today. I think Ben has a new podcast and whatnot.
Yeah,
Um,
he does.
I seen a clip of him talking about Palomalu, and it was just so special to watch him like know what was going on, being able to read the offense, jump plays. You see that in Minka, where like he sits back there, he knows where the ball's going, he flies there. He's fast,
Mm-hmm.
he's athletic,
Mm-hmm.
and he picks the ball off. Man, he's a ball hawk. So that's my guy this week, man. I love Minka, I really do, and I will. This won't be my all heart player, but I want to touch on this. Devin Bush played a great football game.
Yes, he did, Jerry.
He played a great football game, man. He really, really did, and I'm really happy for him. Um, I love to see that out of him. We've talked about it in the past. It's the tackling was horrible. The coverage was horrible. He couldn't get off of blocks. He was running in
Yeah.
circles. He was flying all over the field, making hits, shedding blocks. Good for him.
Yeah, no, I think he's starting to retake his form. He played with more reckless abandon than we have
Yeah,
seen in the last year. He was flying to the ball. He was meeting the running back at the hole on the stretch plays where they're pitching it out to the far line, the far hash, and he's running it down. And that is what we said. He has all the speed. We're just not seeing him do anything with it. And now he's just reading and reacting. And I think that is a testament to Brian Flores. I think that is partially Brian Flores' effect is what we're seeing. is that he's regaining his confidence. The guy's fucking uberly talented. We know he's
Yeah,
talented, but a lot of the NFL is the mental game, and I think he's going to be able to overcome that kind of shit, especially if Brian Flores is putting him in the right positions to succeed.
yeah, for sure,
And
100%, 110%, man. I just loved what I said, dude. I give credit to every single defensive guy there. Secondary played a big deal in it. Defensive line got to the quarterback. It was just an all around
yeah,
great performance.
yeah, it was unbelievable. And one thing that you mentioned about Minkah, that's his 5th touchdown since 2018, leads the NFL defenders in touchdowns
Wow,
since 2018 with 5.
wow,
Uh,
nice.
and we fleeced the Miami Dolphins for that guy. Like
Yes,
every time he does something like this, I think to myself, why the fuck did they let him go for a first round draft? Like we killed them, we
I
we
know.
robbed them. The
Oh
guy
yeah,
is
big time.
special. And
Yeah.
he's not even in his prime yet. Like he's just coming into the next 5 years of prime. Like
Yes, I
we're
know.
loaded on that defense as far as some of these guys are concerned. So Minka
Yeah.
was special. I mean that is an all heart. Given the 14 tackles, led both teams. He blocks the extra point, which sends us to overtime. When that game was fucking cooked. I mean, it was
Yeah.
over. It should have been done. You make an extra point, go home. I mean, I'm sitting there, I'm furious, I'm motherfucking myself, and then he
That
misses
place
it.
probably went. You could have heard crickets, bro.
A pin drop, and again they're motherfucking me and Nick like, oh yeah, of course, and they everywhere I go, every road game, they all say the same shit. The Steelers get all the calls, they get all the fucking calls. I'm like, are you watching the
No
same
way.
game? Like this
No way.
officiating is
Not last
trash.
game.
No, very bad.
No.
Very bad. I'm like, I'm not listening to this shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, hey, to leave there and have to look them in the face and say, oh, how's it feel to be 0-1 whenever everybody, everyone's seen the graphic.
Oh
Whoever's
yeah.
running the Steelers account where every single person picked the Bengals to win.
Yes.
And they do the impractical jokers. Okay, now say that the
Yeah.
Bengals are going to win.
So funny.
It just
I was
it's
just
a lot more
responding
fun
to
to live
people.
life when
Like
you
people
win.
were chirping me in my DMs, Bengals fans. Fuck you, Jerry. It's rigged. I just was like, pussy. 0-1, 0-1, 0-1,
Yeah,
0-1. Fuck you.
yeah.
0-1.
That's the best because at the end of the day, there's nothing you can come back from. You're
No.
0-1. The Pittsburgh Steelers are 1-0, and we're
Yeah.
right back where we belong, top of the
Yep.
North, at the top of the
100%.
AFC North, and in the
Yep.
driver's seat after one game. And that's all I give a shit about. We'll break this down on a week by week basis. It
Yep.
leads us to the Patriots game.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a big game because Bill Belichick coaches well against the Steelers. He
Yes.
knows a lot of the Steelers' tendencies. We've seen it all these years. It's we need to see some improvement from Mitch, in my opinion. They're gonna do some things to put him in uncomfortable situations, and you can only rely on trickery and things of that nature for so long. And
Yeah.
disciplined teams don't really allow it to happen. So we're gonna need to see more from Mitch. God, let's hope that the line gets better. And Najee, while they say he's going to play, let's hope if he does play, he is much improved because it's hard to believe that the Pittsburgh Steelers can continue to have, 5 takeaways and 7 sacks every week and a defensive touchdown. You're asking too much if that's going to be our recipe every single week. The offense is going to have to carry their weight, and I
Yep.
really hope that they do it on Sunday. What
Yep.
do you think about the game on Sunday?
Yeah, dude. So Bill Belichick does, coach against the Steelers very, very good. His record against the Steelers is incredible. Listen, I think the Steel. Oh no, I don't think. I know they have to take away the run.
Yeah.
Because the
Yes.
Patriots run the ball. They do run the ball good. Okay, they have two
Yep.
running backs that are really, really, really good, man, and they could run the
Yep.
ball effectively. They play pretty good defense. So I think the Steelers, obviously, they need to stop the run. And it's
Mhm.
kind of like the same kind of recipe for last week, I would say. The thing is with the Mac Jones is he's not mobile. He's
Right.
not really mobile. So it
Right.
should be easier for them to get to the quarterback. It should be
Mm-hmm.
it should be easier. And you start getting Mac Jones outside the pocket, he's going to make mistakes. He's going to
Yeah.
make mistakes. So same kind of deal as last week. I will say this though. The Patriots, from a defensive standpoint, they will take away Deontay Johnson. That I feel
Yeah.
like they will take him away. I think they need to scheme up some things for Pickens and Freiermuth and Claypool. That's
Yeah.
why, for my bet of the week, I am going to take Chase Claypool to score a touchdown. I'm 1-0. I hit the under last week. I kind of like the under again, but I'm going to go with a prop bet this week, and it'll be plus money. I'm not sure what the odds aren't out yet for touchdown scores, but I'm going to take Chase Claypool to score a touchdown because I think they're going to take away Deontay. And when take
Yeah.
away Deontay, I mean this. I don't see Deontay having a 100-yard game. Put it to you that
Right.
way. Deontay, it's very hard to take him away, but he's going to
Mhm.
have less than probably 80 yards, 70 yards, I think. I think
Yep.
Claypool's going to be an X factor this game. I really do.
Right.
You've seen how they tried to get him the ball in open space, couple
Mhm.
little quick out routes, get him the ball, see what he can do with it. Kind of like Debo, like you said. I'm going to take Chase Claypool to score a touchdown.
Yeah, that's a pretty good bet, and it's a good bet if you watched the Dolphins Patriots game on Sunday. So they did limit Tyreek Hill. I mean, he still did some things, but they limited him for the most part. But you saw Jaylen Waddle fucking explode.
Yeah.
Jaylen Waddle lit their asses up because they were so focused on getting killed by Tyreek Hill that it's going to open some other things up. To recap, Jerry did win the head-to-head bet last week. I took the Steelers under 22.5 for the first half total. It ended up being fucking 23. I lost by 0.5 points on that. Jerry took the under 44.5. It ended up being 43. So Jerry hit that bet. So for the season standing, Jerry is up 1-0. This week, I'm taking Steelers money line. It is plus 100, so it's basically even money. Uh, the odds that the Steelers win on Sunday, I think, are pretty high. They're coming back to Heinz Field with all the momentum. Heinz Field's going to be loud. It's going to be raucous. It's the home opener. I mean, the home opener is a blast. There's going to be a lot of energy in that building. I will be surprised if we lose on Sunday. I'll actually be surprised genuinely after what we saw.
I'm debating on buying a ticket right now, to be honest with you.
I don't know how you can't, Jerry. I don't know how you can't. Like this
I think I might.
It's the home opener. I mean, it doesn't get any more, enjoyable than that because you have all the ability to dream that this is your team's season.
The problem is my son's birthday is on Saturday. We're having a big party. So it'd be really tough. It'd have to be like a flight in the morning and a flight out at night.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you can make it work, it's gonna be a blast. I mean, that atmosphere is always fun, and if you get the ability to talk some shit to Portnoy, if you get to let them know that the Steelers beat the Patriots to send the Patriots to 0-2 to start the season, that's gonna be fucking fun to be able to talk shit on that end.
Oh yeah.
Let's look at some of the lines. I just want to show you what everything is. So they have the Patriots at minus 121. So they're basically saying that they think that the Patriots are favored to win this game, but not by much. I mean, minus 121 for those that aren't avid bettors. I mean, that's a pretty much even money for the most part on that end. They have the Steelers at plus 100, which means a $100 bet wins you $100 back plus your initial $100 bet. The spread is minus 1.5 to the Patriots. So you're talking they're giving the Steelers, plus 1.5 points, and you're getting it at minus 110, which it's the same for the Patriots to cover minus 110. So a $100 bet wins you $90.
Yeah.
So if you're into the betting, hop over to the Barstool Sportsbook app because they're giving you some insight again this week about that the line is razor thin. It's pretty much 52% chance that the Patriots win, 48% that the Steelers win. And I think some of that is going to change as we hear more about Mac Jones, how injured he is, how well he's going to perform this week, practice, things of that nature. So right now, if you can get the Steelers at plus 100 and Mac Jones dinged, I think that's a pretty good bet.
Oh yeah, big time. I listen. I like the Steelers too. I really do this week. Like I said, dude, I think we have a legitimate chance of starting 4-0, and if we lose, I think it will be against the Browns because of their D line. That's a game next week. I'll have to evaluate how the Steelers play this week. I don't see them losing to the Jets. I think we can beat the Patriots for sure, especially with a banged up Mac Jones. The game I'm worried about losing is in 2 weeks, but we're talking about this week, so we'll see what happens. I'm ready to go though Sunday.
Yeah. So to recap, Jerry is taking Chase Claypool anytime touchdown scorer. We don't have the lines right now. So normally we're recording this on a Tuesday. So normally they're not going to announce that stuff until like Thursday.
Yeah,
So we don't have exactly what the juice is. But if you can get him, that's Jerry's bet. If you want to ride Jerry, he is coming off of unfortunately losing a $14,000 win last night on the Broncos game. But, he did win our head to head bet last week.
yep,
I am 0-1. Jerry is 1-0. And if you guys are interested in that, the Barstool Sportsbook app has everything that you need on that end.
for
We
sure.
appreciate it, guys. We'll be back again next week. Like, comment, subscribe. It's been a blast. It's going to be a fun season. I was really excited to record this today just because we finally got to talk about
I
being
know.
1-0 and how exciting it is to be able to sit here as 1-0. So if you do enjoy it, share it, like it, comment it, subscribe it. You'll find it on the Jersey Jerry YouTube channel. We appreciate all of your support. We'll see you guys this weekend. I'll be at the Terrible Tailgate. It's in Red Lot 5A, same place it's always going to be, right there at the corner, right across from PNC Park. So if you guys are interested, all you can eat and drink. It's $40. Stop over. Let's get together and we'll get to talk a little bit of football this week. We'll see
For
you guys
sure.
again next week.
All right, see you later, Kev. Talk soon, guys.
See you, brother.